Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama.
Hare Krishna. I am Rajarsi Dasa. Welcome to Hare Krishna today. Having declared this year to be Bhagavad Gita Awareness Year, this is a special series explaining what is Bhagavad Gita and what are some of the important topics or points we would find in the Bhagavad Gita that the simple reader, the beginner, can be enthusiastic and look forward to something enlightening from the Gita. So, how do we describe what is this Bhagavad Gita? Let us take a look at Lord Krishna's description and a bit about the history of the Gita given by Lord Krishna himself in the Gita. Now we are looking at the 4th chapter entitled Transcendental Knowledge, and we're looking at what is the Gita. There Krishna says, Saivayam mayatidya yoga prokta puratana bhakto sime sakhachiti rahasyam hietad uttamam. He says that ancient science of the soul and its relationship with the Supreme. Yes, that's what the Gita is all about. It's a science, knowledge of the soul and the Supreme. So Krishna says that ancient science of the soul and its relationship with the Supreme, it is told today by me to you. Why? Because you paid your university fees? No. Bhakto sime sakhacheti. Yes, that's qualification we are speaking about. Krishna is saying to Arjuna, because you're my devotee, Bhakta and Sakha, my friend, therefore you can understand the transcendental mystery of this science. Bhagavad Gita, it is quite mysterious. A lot of people know something about the Gita. Yes. But to actually understand the Gita and its siddhanta or conclusion, people don't get very far. Let me just give you an example. I've been to one mandir or temple where some people wanted to attempt to start studying or reading the Bhagavad Gita. So I made some presentation. They asked for some encouragement, so went to give them some inspiration. So after I did so, one man, he came to me and he said, I find something conflicting about what you are saying and what we generally do at the temple. And he went on to explain to me, he had been doing some reading on the Gita, attempting to read the Gita, but he finds that the Gita mentioned all kinds of different parts, but it is prescribing or it is recommending that Krishna is recommending that you surrender unto me, you give up all these things. And he finds that at the mandir, all these things are what is being promoted. So it creates some conflict, some dilemma. So I said, well, your little conflict and your little dilemma, that's not unusual. That's where Arjuna started from. That's where his enlightenment began. Srila Prabhupada said, in the material world, at every step there is perplexity, there's confusion. So it behooves one to seek out this solution. So yeah, there's a conflict. Many conflicts. Not a bad thing. Because you're thirsty? Well, there's water, you should get it. You're hungry? There's food, you should get it. Place is dark, you want light, you can get the light. So it's a matter of approach now. But this is an example of how Gita is difficult to understand. Why? If you are fixed in your kindergarten program and you are attached to that and you're not willing to give it up, and somebody's telling you you have to go for university, you won't be able to. Well, if people don't understand the many paths mentioned in the Gita, they get stuck on some low level, and so they can't understand the conclusion of the Gita. And that's a very important point. Because Krishna mentions a lot of different processes in Bhagavad Gita. Maybe at this point, we should give a bit about the many paths mentioned in the Gita. On the lowest level, the human being's activities are four. Ahara, Nidra, Bhaya, Maithun. Eating, sleeping, mating, defending. That all human beings do. Religious, non-religious, atheists, everybody eat, sleep, mate, and defend. But these things are described in the scriptures as on the same level as what the animals do. So it says, Samanyamaitat Pashubhinaranam. The animals do it, human beings do it. The one thing that makes the human beings different from the animals, Dharmo hitesham. Dharma. Dharma, yes. What is this Dharma? You could say religion, you could say duty, you can put it in so many different ways. Dharma comes from that Sanskrit root dhar, which means that which maintains or sustains. So if somebody say, I have to do my dharma, you have to do your duty, your work. That's all right. Yeah, your work provides for your maintenance. But does your work supply the air you breathe and the water you drink and the sunlight and so on? No. So there's something more to dharma than just your obligation, your work. Yes, there's something more to it. There is immediate dharmas and there's the ultimate dharma. Immediate duties and the ultimate duty. So that's what we're going to give, some step-by-step understanding of the teachings of the Vedas mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita. To take people out of this animal life, this eating, sleeping, mating, and defending, the first level, it's called Karma Kand. Karma Kand means, karma means activities. So this division of the Vedas it prescribes many sacrifices, many offerings, rituals, and it's directed to the controllers in the universe. There are millions of devas, devatas, and they control the different resources of the universe. So whether people are worshipping or they're not worshipping, but we are all consuming. Yes, everybody's consuming. Everybody's breathing. The atheist is breathing also. But it's just that he doesn't know who is supplying the air that he's breathing. Whereas somebody who is situated in some knowledge, basic knowledge, knows that the Supreme Lord, who is the maintainer, has millions of representatives, devatas, and they provide the necessities for us in this world. So, to take us out of this animal consciousness, just me and my body, and I should just eat, work hard, and eat, sleep, mate, and defend, and that's it. To take us a little above that, the Vedas is promising now, if you do these different offerings, yes, you have some things that at your disposal. Well, you should learn to offer in sacrifice, and when you offer, yes, you will get nice things to enjoy, and that sounds good. Krishna puts it this way: Yamimam pushpitam vacham pravadanti avipaschitaha. He says, of course, he's speaking about less intelligent men, unintelligent men. He says, Yamimam pushpitam vacham, that this division of the Vedas has pushpitam vacham, flowery words, high, nice sounding words. Do this and you'll get that. After flowers, what's there? Fruits. Yes. So, nice flowery words to give you fruits. So the general mass of people, that's what they're attracted for. As a matter of fact, in this age of Kali Yuga, that happens to be most people's conception of religion. Religion is just to fill my belly or just to fill my pocket. Yeah, religion is a good way of assuring that I get my needs or things go good. Some people, they decide to take out insurance policy to secure things, and some people decide to do some puja. But they have the same objective in mind, for things to go good. And we don't blame people for doing that. Why? Because that's there in the scriptures. As a matter of fact, Krishna says, Evam pravartitam chakram. He says that there's a cycle, chakram. So one who does not follow in human life this cycle of sacrifice prescribed in the Vedas, he lives his life in vain. So for the general mass of people, we have to get out that animal level and come to a level of start doing something. So that is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. Yes. Krishna induces Arjuna to fight in the 2nd chapter. He says, happy are the Kshatriyas for whom such fighting opportunity come on sword, opening for them the doors to heaven. Swarga Dwar. Swarga Dwar. Swarga means heaven. But what is heaven? In some religions, some people think that heaven is the ultimate destination. But in the Vedic culture, heaven is not the ultimate destination. Heaven is just another region of this material world. Higher regions in the material world, and as the name suggests, heavenly pleasures. You can live a very long duration of life, beautiful body, and enjoy nice things. But then when you exhaust your punya or your piety that took you up there, then Shine Punya Martya Lokam Vishanti. Then Krishna says, then you'll fall back down again to this earth planet. So think about what's going on here. Karma Kanda exists on two levels. One level, do jagya, do offerings, and in this life you will be prosperous. You'll get nice health and wealth and get nice things. So a lot of people, that's what they're into. But as Krishna is telling Arjuna here, Swarga Dwaram Apavritam, it will open for you the door to heaven. Meaning that the scripture says if a Kshatriya who fights on the battlefield according to the religious codes, he performs his prescribed duty. Now we're not speaking about the cow-eating mlechas of this present day who call themselves warriors. We haven't analyzed too much what will be their destination, but it is not too difficult to tell. But what we're speaking about is a Kshatriya who lives and follows his duties and fight according to religious principles. Krishna is saying that warrior, Swarga Dwaram Apavritam, he could make it to heaven. But is that really Krishna's conclusion in the Bhagavad Gita? The point we're trying to get to is that Krishna mentions many stages in the Bhagavad Gita because the Bhagavad Gita is representing the whole Vedic system, the whole spectrum, the teachings of the Vedas that mention or prescribes many different processes or practices. So we're just giving some example that when someone understands that you can go to heavenly planets, you're not going in this body, this is after death. So what does this person learn? Well, he learns that actually I am not this body is going to die. So who is going to heaven? So the person starts getting the point that you are something different from this physical body. You are eternal soul. That's how amazing and that's how wonderful the teachings of the Vedas are. That even if you're on that lowest level, the Guruji may come to do puja, this, that, doing the rituals, but it is his responsibility and his duty to explain to the disciple that yes, if you get all these jagyas right, you can make it up to the heavenly regions. Yes. So, you're getting higher knowledge. Knowledge that you are not the physical body, you're eternal soul. Of course, after Karma Kanda, then there is Karma Yoga. Because then a person gets the information, wait a minute, after I exhaust all those things, Shine Punya Martya Lok, I'll come back to this Mrityu Lok, this place of this earth again. Yes, you'll come back. You go to the US, 6 months visa, well, after your period is up, you'll come back. You go with so much money, you spend it out, you come back. So, the Vedas is now showing you that, look, or a person recognizes, I go up there, I have to come back. Is there any better destination, permanent destination? In other words, an intelligent person realizes this world is hell. Come on. Birth, disease, old age, and death, and you're kicked out after securing all the nice things. That's the best I can do. Survival of the fittest, and Prabhupada would say. And who is fit to survive? What is your survival? Your whole lifetime of education and insurance policy and everything, is it going to save you at the time of death? So now a person comes to understand, yes, karma, I am doing work and offering result, but then I have to come back. So then the level of karma yoga comes up now. Yoga means to link. So linking to what or to whom? Not the temporary gods of this world. Now a person he gets the idea of offering the result, the karma pal, offering it to the Supreme. But at this stage, it may not be clear what or who the Supreme is. So on the lower levels of spirituality, people conceive the Supreme to be Brahman. Yes. Sarva kaloidam Brahma. Brahman is the all-pervading Supreme. Yes. But the Vedas says, Vadanti tattva vidas tattvam yaj jnanam advayam. Brahmeti paramatma iti bhagavan iti shabdyati. That learned transcendentalists who know the absolute truth. God. They know the absolute truth. They know this absolute truth in 3 phases. Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. Yes. And this is compared Suryavat Bahudhayati. Suryavat means like the sun. You're sitting inside your house, midday, and the place is bright. Why? Because of the sun. But the sun is not inside your room. It's some sunlight. So that's called the Brahman aspect, that all-pervasive aspect of God. But then if you step out of your house and you look up into the sky, you would see that disk from where that light is coming. That's called the localized aspect or the Paramatma aspect of God. Dhyanavashtitatatgatena manasa pashyantiyam yoginaha. The yogis, by their dhyan, by their meditation, they actually come to the point of seeing God. Yes, they can see God as Paramatma, that four-handed Vishnu form within the heart. So that is described in many places in the Gita also. Krishna is speaking about how he is in the heart. 15:15, chapter 15, verse 15, he says, Hirade sanivishto mataha smritir jnanam aponam cha. From me come remembrance, knowledge, forgetfulness. Ishvara sarva bhutanam hridesha arjuna tishtati. 1861. Brahmayan sarva bhutani yantra rudhani maya. I am seated in the heart of everyone and I am directing the wandering of all beings. So in this program, we are just giving some idea what this Gita is, the ancient science, the science of the soul, the Supreme, and the soul's relationship with the Supreme. But then how did we get to this? The many paths. Well, that's the idea, that there are many paths and many different goals, but then there is an ultimate goal. In other words, we are speaking about Veda and Vedanta. So we are now getting into the subject matter. The Vedas contain so many different goals and so many prescriptions and all of that. So Krishna tells Arjuna, Traigunya Vishaya Veda Nishtraigunya Bhavarjun. That Arjuna, the Vedas is just dealing with mainly with the three Traigunya, the 3 modes of material nature. This world function in 3 modes and prescribing different types of things. But he's saying Nishtraigunya, you have to liberation. Later we'll speak about bondage, because there's no question of liberation if you don't understand how or what we are bound up by. So bondage means tied up by the three modes. Guna means rope. So just as rope, twisted, three strands twisted, is very strong. These three modes, goodness, passion, and ignorance, they bind the soul in this world. So we are bound up by the three gunas, and Krishna is telling Arjuna, Nishtrai gunya bhava Arjuna, rise above the three modes, Arjuna. And now we'll have to go through this Gita, and we'll encounter many processes, but then we'll encounter a process of bhakti, devotion, where Krishna says that Daivihesha gunamai mama maya duratya, that this maya, this material energy is mine. And mama maya duratya, it is very difficult to overcome. But mamevaye prapadyante maya metam tarantite. But by surrendering unto me, we can easily cross beyond this maya. So you get the idea of Bhagavad Gita? It mentions many things. But if you are stuck and you just want to enjoy karma kand, well, you are not going to be able to relate to Krishna saying, Man mana bhava mad bhakta, always think of me, become my devotee, worship me. Yeah, you won't be able to relate to that. You'll find Krishna is asking for too much. That doesn't seem to be in my program. So we're going to continue this series on what is the Bhagavad Gita and what are the topics in the Gita. I'm Rajarsi Dasa saying Hare Krishna, and do join us again for another presentation.
Hare Hare.